Hello everybody, this is my first YouTube video, and I'd like to take this opportunity to demo a couple of new items that I've implemented in Maize version. I'll be showing the shiny ball off, as well as the DV ball. So I've recently implemented shiny Pokemon in Maize version, and shiny Pokemon in Maize version are actually trade compatible with Generation 2 games. So for example, if you trade the red Gyarados over to Maize version, the Gyarados will still be shiny in Maize version, and the other way around too. So that's pretty cool. I guess I'll just jump into a battle and try to catch a Pokemon with the shiny ball to show you what happens. As you can probably guess, when you catch a Pokemon with the shiny ball, it converts the Pokemon, the captured Pokemon, to being shiny. Yeah, so shiny Pokemon in Maize version are implemented exactly the same as they are in Gen 2 games, Gold, Silver, Crystal. Basically, the IV values or the DV values of the stats have to be certain numbers for the Pokemon to be considered shiny. So that's how the trade compatibility works, because the DVs are essentially compatible. Alright, so we caught the Pikachu. Unfortunately, this sprite right here does not show up as shiny when you catch a Pokemon with the shiny ball. However, if you encounter just a random shiny in the wild, it'll show up shiny in the Pokedex screen right here. So if we check out the stats screen for this newly caught Pikachu, we'll notice that it's now a Pika Blue. Right, so this isn't the actual color of a shiny Pikachu in the future games. And there's one big reason for this. There's only 10 color palettes for all of the Pokemon in Red version. So basically, Pikachu, Electabuzz, all the yellow Pokemon all share the same palette. And so, therefore, they also all share the same shiny palette. And I just arbitrarily chose blue for the yellow Pokemon. You also notice in the top left-hand corner of the screen there's an exclamation mark. That's just an extra indicator that the Pokemon is shiny, since sometimes it's a little hard to tell. Cool. Yeah, so if I send out this Pikachu in a battle, there's a little animation right at the beginning showing that it's shiny. It's just a quick flash of the screen that you'll see in a couple seconds. Cool. And so the same flash happens when an enemy Pokemon is shiny too. Alright, so now I'll show off the DV ball. The DV ball, if you don't know what DVs are, they're essentially the same thing as IVs in the future games. So each stat, attack, defense, speed, special, and HP, all have DVs, and that's just a number that ranges from 0 to 15. If a stat has a DV of 15, then that's the strongest the Pokemon can be in that stat. So, of course, having a DV of 15 in all 5 stats would be optimal. That's the strongest the Pokemon can be. And so, of course, the DV ball also does what you'd expect. When you catch a Pokemon with it, it sets the DVs all to 15, and you essentially have a perfect Pokemon. I guess it's worth noting that the shiny ball has a catch rate equal to a great ball, and the DV ball is actually worse. It's equivalent to a Pokeball. I should probably weaken this Ekans, huh? And actually, let's see, the fourth city in this hack is called, oh boy, what's it called? Pyrite City. In Pyrite City, there is an NPC in one of the houses who actually tells you the DVs of your Pokemon, just to know how good they are, basically. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. There's also an item called the Scouter Ring. The Scouter Ring tells you the sum of all the DVs of a wild Pokemon you run into. So that's another way you can see how strong a Pokemon is before you catch it. Alright, if we take a look at this stat screen, you'll notice the word perfect running down the top left part of the screen. And that just indicates that the Pokemon you're viewing has perfect IVs. And it does because we just caught it with a DV ball. And I think that wraps up this demo. Thanks for watching.